Welcome everybody to the quarterfinals of playoffs between the Guangdong Magic Tigers and the Richfield Rats number 2. We're going to be heading straight into game here very shortly. First map chosen by the Guangdong Magic Tigers. They're opting to go to Nepal. I'm one of your casters, War. Joined alongside me is Neptune, aka Tuner, and on prod is Ninja Drew. Neptune, how you doing today?
Doing pretty great, we had that fantastic quick play sessions earlier, just looking forward to this amazing game that we got here of the Tigers and the Rats. It's gonna be a banger. I feel like hopefully, playoffs are finally here on the line. It's gonna be very exciting.
I'd say playoffs definitely bring out the best in players, the best in teams. So very much looking forward to see what research these teams have done on each other, what they've learned throughout the regular season, and what they are planning to do. At the moment, though, it does seem fairly default from both sides. JQ Rush, led by Nort Logic, versus Wrecked Cactus on the Ramatra.
Yeah, no, and this is gonna be like, I don't know, I love this like Ramatra comp from the side of the Tigers, and especially going against that Queen comp when it's just like you have to W key into them and get onto that backline. It's gonna be nearly impossible with this like slow and all this pressure. Tigers moving up this way on the bridge and just like hard spamming them.
Yeah, and they do like really have the ability to take this slow because they can really stabilize at a point much better. North finally finding some type of green light to push forward. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of things, Fedora is just marking out this Tracer with the turret, but it's actually going to be Hardchar who finds the first pick. Teddy M gets shut down, and all of the Richfield Rats dropping dangerously low as Red Cactus and Sonic are there for the cleanup.
Yeah, no, it's just so hard for the Rats side just to be able to like crawl onto the side of the Tigers. Like they have all their CDs to absorb anything they do. And as we saw, like, Nord just had to shout even early, and Hardchar gets picked. That's going to be devastating for the Tigers. They have to give up all the space, and Red Cactus is so low. Rats should win out here, but anyways, like, as we're seeing, like, they're just trying to play stack, and I don't like how slow they're playing, but now they're speeding up the tempo of Captain Point, and they're going to probably find Alco. Alco gets away with murder on Point.
Yeah, but flip-flop there for the cleanup on Point. You gotta shout out Allegro in that fight. You got two massive sleeps. The first one on Hardchar. Maybe the kill didn't come from that, but it came shortly after. And the second one on towards Wrecked Cactus, which really denied Guangdong Magic Tigers any sustainment onto the point. So now Guangdong Magic Tigers have to go through this recontest. Fedora is keeping the turret back. They want to play the backside of this point, force the Guangdong Magic Tigers to walk this full distance. Elko, though, going early. The Deadeye has been pulled. A slow into the backline. It's really zoned out Nort Logic from the rest of the entire team. Teddy M tries to make a hero play to save him, but it's not going to be enough. Point now flips in favor of Guangdong.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I think the Rats just need to play a lot harder at those chokes with nades and building that nano like at those chokes so that they can just keep them still. And as you saw, they just get all that space for free. Not for free, but like Alco made that space. They isolated Nort, and now they have to do this like, this game of trying to take bridge again, and it's gonna be really hard. But like Fedora is making space with this ultimate, like Alco did previously, and just amazing what is that ult called?
Multicore? I don't know exactly what it's called though.
Yeah, multicore. I was thinking about a more inappropriate name of it, but I didn't want to say that on
yeah, let's not go there. I really love the positioning of that molten core though. It zones off like part of the bridge and also part of the backline. And we do get to see Richfield Rats are taking this more aggressive angle here. Guangdong Magic Tigers more than happy to brawl into that. The beat invested, Annihilation as well. Beats traded out on both sides, and the picks going in favor of the Richfield Rats here.
Yeah,
and now
I love the tempo.
Yeah, that tempo is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like those things that we need to be seeing like in those previous fights to not even let that point flip. And just because like I think a little bit like too early from the side of the Rats, it kind of made them feel like they needed to press a lot more Qs than they really should have in that fight.
And that was great because you're closing the Deadeye, you have the window, but there's not really much else pressure you can get, and Teddy M comes up massive with a pick on towards Elko, allows Flip Flop to pop the Deadeye herself. She takes out one, and now they're just able to push forward. They're able to keep this aggression going, getting kills towards spawn. The pick on Hardchar is going to be absolutely absolutely massive because that's going to be your heals getting back a bit slower.
Yeah, I know. It's just like amazing tempo and just like keeping these at choke. You know, it's like as you see now, like they're just really stuffing these chokes and making it hard for the Tigers to walk out. And Flip Flop just gets another kill on Elko, and just basically stopping the retouch completely. All stacking a point, overload, multi-core comes on payload, and this should just be it for the Rats.
That was crazy. I mean, the core spacing from Fedora was amazing, but Flip Flop gets the pick onto Elko, gets booped by Sonic, and then does the Cassidy roll thing to get out of it. She was off the map, but manages to keep herself alive, keep herself fighting, and get Richfield Rats their first part of Nepal.
Yeah, no, she's doing a great job at like doing Elko and keeping him in check, right? And just staying alive during these like crucial fights, like when that boot comes in from Sonic, just being able to keep composure and roll back into high ground, just fantastic. That being said, like going into this matchup still, we just need to make sure the Rats can kind of play slow, kind of like play for Fedora and like Flip Flop, and then hopefully play off those nades like they've been doing so amazingly here. And it seems like they're going to take this to point, which, to be honest, I'm not really in love with that, but I think it can work out.
Yeah, it's especially tough when you have that double hit scan side of Zinth and Elko for Guangdong Magic Tigers. You have a lot of pressure you can put down towards point. It's forcing the side of Richfield Rats to just play towards this backline. Fedora finally enables in the fight, but then it's just completely disabled by the power of long range hit scan. But Elko is just going to explode on the point. Teddy M with a quick early pick there, and Nort pressing the aggression forward as well. So now, Richfield Rats with the man advantage, pushing onto the point. Axe taking the space, and even though Nort does fall, okay, could be a winnable fight now for Guangdong. Rich Cactus gets to clean up onto Flip Flop, maybe getting a bit overzealous there for the Richfield Rats. It should now just be cleanup for Guangdong Magic Tigers.
Honestly, like, I love the approach that the Rats had that first fight, you know, finding Elko on that angle, just rushing him down and going back to point. I feel like they played point pressure way too hard, and they needed to like kind of wait for like that burst again and like go find a new target to kill. That's kind of where this like comp kind of gets crushed, is like when they have to just like play in open space, play cap point, and they just get to poke them. You know, as you're saying, just this rotation just being massively just so deadly and just forces so many cooldowns and just, yeah, as you see, just Nort explodes.
And they just have to find a way to clear this high ground. It's almost insurmountable at this point. Guangdong is able to keep all 5 members on the height, wait for the rotation to come in, wait for the cooldowns to be burned, and then explode down when they have the advantage.
Yeah, I think the approach to this just needs to be like through like hitch and kind of find moments to like retake high and like force them on the low ground so you can dictate when we can actually like go onto them. That being said, it's gonna be a slow game, and we're just keep on making this rotated point when I don't think anyone's got anyone to like force it. Like Sonic Ronic's just hunting down Flip Flop on this coast here.
But the difference in this approach is they have Fedora on the off angle. He managed to go up onto that far right side and take an aggressive angle. Speaking of aggression though, Red catches with Annihilation. He was so low, I'm wondering if that was some type of misclick or fat finger. Down 2 players. Does pop it, but they do still have a lot of ultimates they can rely on.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially now, I think this is where like the Rats kind of really get rolling, as we saw. It's gonna be a little bit kind of rough that they don't have this queen now, but as you see the multi-core nano coming out, hopefully multi-core comes on the high ground to like cancel the space. And Hardshot is getting so low and has to force MO.
Guangdong with a great job of fighting through it though. Zinth already enabled with the kill onto Flip Flop and finding himself a second on the point as well. Elko with a bit of cleanup. Now the point is gonna flip in favor of Guangdong. Richfield Rats have to go out quick. Nort doesn't get staggered, thankfully. And Fedora now swapping over onto the Pharah.
Yeah, no, I love that like Pharah swap, I would say. It's gonna be still pretty hard, but anything to find like picks early.
Yeah, but the concern now comes to be the touch. TDM using speed to force to this point. They've tried this approach many times and it hasn't worked out, and this time they're facing down Zinth with that overclock, with that pressure towards the point. Sonic Chronic dropping a beat in. Flip-Flop trying to turn this, but gets booped away by Sonic. A bomb down towards point, more area denial, more space taken, but it's not going to be enough. Guangdong Magic Tigers are going to tie this point of Nepal up 1-1.
Yeah, no, great job from the side of the Tigers. Just really bully every rotate that the Rats try to make, and I think they really kind of cleaned it up from the previous map. But that being said, I wonder how the Rats are gonna approach on here and like keep this far look maybe perhaps and like go commit a mercy to it. I think that'd be pretty alright. But honestly, I don't even mind the Queen version still. Like just playing what we're practicing. That being said, it's gonna be a little bit harder to stuff, and that's what you really want to do with that Queen comp. So it might be best to like find this new approach here.
Yeah, they do opt to stick with that Devo. We'll have to see if it pans out for them or not, but keeping the Pharah on this point maybe can find a bit more success. But are already getting a bit of spam in off of that high ground and some good point presence on both sides for the Richfield Rats. A good eat there from Nort too to just deny a bit of space. The Guangdong Magic Tigers, they don't care. They're just pushing on towards this point. They're putting down so much pressure, and Zinth just enabled onto the Pharah, getting that kill. The lack of healing for Fedora is just, I mean, it's hard to get healing when you have the Ana and the Lucio backline, and Guangdong Magic Tigers are going to manage to take this first point.
Yeah, I think the spacing of the Rats are a little bit like not understanding of what they need to accomplish, you know, just like taking a little bit too much damage and not enough assisting like Fedora on those angles to like get people low. And that being said, like we're just like so close to their enemy team that we're just being able to get picked by people like Elko, you know, or like Zinth in that case, right?
Yeah, and the Guangdong Magic Tigers, they have the ability to play these long-range angles. The double hit scan composition has been working out so well for them. The Richfield Rats have to find some type of way to enable onto the backline, claim some of this space out, and Nort's gonna send it in with the help of Teddy M and amp to the backline, try to separate things out, but it's too split up, it's too discombobulated. As Fedora and Teddy both fall, remaining members of the Rats now need to back up. Although there is some heroics from Flip-Flop in the push, Nort's left as the last remaining member and may get staggered out here as well.
Yeah,
DMAC does come through, and that's half the battle.
Yep, and they just leave him too. Yeah, I mean, I think the approaches of these fights are just like kind of, what's the word? Just like very not really thought through. I think the comp, like wise and how they're playing, is just like they're kind of like rushed like they're on the Queen still when we're playing an entirely different comp with this Pharah and like this Diva now. So it's just really hard to find those openings unless players like Fedora make it happen, right?
Yeah, and Zinth has enabled again, finds the kill onto Fedora. Flip-Flop trying to save it here. A beat from Sonic Chronic to deny really any value, and now ultimate's being popped on all sides. Bomb's gonna come out, but I don't think that's gonna find anything. Into the beat, into the Deadeye, into the Ramatra ultimate as well. Hardchar holding onto him for good measure as well. Fedora may be able to find one, but it's not gonna be enough, as Guangdong Magic Tigers are gonna take map number 1.
You know, Tigers just exerting their dominance, you know, showing everyone why they're undefeated here.
It looks so good on this first map. I think the swap over onto the Soj at least was very helpful for them in these fights. Good play of the game though by Nort, and you did see a little bit of success there from Richfield Rats, so we'll have to see what they pick now that they have all the hybrid maps in the world at their disposal.
I don't know, I feel like if you're the Rats, I think you might just want to like play that Diva if you're really that comfortable, right? It's like more dive maps is might, you know, we might see, you know. That's what I'm expecting at least. I'm just expecting like Blizzard Worlds. I'm expecting what are some other good hybrids? Heresias. I mean, I'm more so expecting Blizzard World more than anything else. I think the
Could you see
rats.
the Numbani? Is that in the books or is that off the
Yeah,
books?
no, I see
Okay.
that in the books too. Like I see a lot of those like die maps, and at least for me, like Blizzard World was like the scary comp that we played against actually, right?
Yep.
Where rats actually just like took us. So like I think the confidence that they might have on that map just like ends up going that.
Yeah, I really like their Blizzard World. They also have a good ability to play that double flex support role in the on a Kiriko specifically. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see if they opt into that. I think that would be a better solution just because of the sheer damage output that Guangdong Magic Tigers are able to put down. It puts them in an interesting spot because then they have to sort of put themselves onto the back line and play aggressively for those picks.
hmm And as we're seeing, Rusty Goomba actually come in for Nort here. Um, and Nort is going to the DPS. That being said, like I'm probably expecting more like a traditional like monkey dive, right? So I think instead of seeing Blizzard World, like we'll probably see like a Nambani or a Parasio where
Oh, they're going
Kings
KR.
Row actually that is true too. So I'm actually excited to even see that too. Just like take this brawl mirror, um, and just take it straight to them. You know, as you saw like on that first map, just the brawl just is like incredible still from the rats. They can take them there and do well. Um, that being said, I'm excited to see like what Rusty Goomba brings to the table for that hero pool on that main tank.
Yeah, Rusty, very flexible tank in my opinion, but I think the interesting thing is what they actually do. I'm expecting like a ram from him or something of the sort. Definitely like a more of a brawl look. But the interesting thing, in my opinion, about the rats is they have the ability to go this Bastion for Nord. They have the ability for the Torbjorn for Fedora Master, and they have the ability to ignore the Lucio if they want. I mean, Teddy M very very good on Lucio, and go onto that double flex DPS or double flex support composition if they want. So I think they have a lot of options they can play with here. It's just finding out something that works against the swaps that come in for the Guangdong Magic Tigers. They have Elko over onto the tank, so we'll have to see. I know Elko usually plays in these map 2 hybrids, but I'm not sure what he exactly plays on King's Row. He's more known, I think,
Yeah,
for the Monkey
or the Doomfist. You
or the
know,
Doomfist. Yeah.
that's what I mostly see him run. Uh, I don't know. It's gonna be really hard. I feel like they're gonna probably commit to that Doomfist look, right? Um, and then whereas I remember like we talked about the rats, like they're more proficient on that double flex support look, and I feel like going against these Doom comps is gonna be like really crucial to be able to have a like a Lucio to like capitalize on players like we saw in Koth especially, and we did see it still, even though we talked about how proficient these players are on the double flex board. They played that Lucio and they like made opportunities like happen and like finding people like Elko main. And that's exactly what we see here on this Kings Row map.
Yeah. I'm not sold on the Doomfist. I could see Elko going a Brawl tank here. I could see him running the Ram here because I mean Brawl
I
does
can
work
too.
out for them too. I mean they have such a good backline for it with the Sonic Chronic Hardchar, Lucio, and Baptiste, but they are gonna opt into the Doomfist, and that's gonna be on the defense too. So they're gonna be committing to a bit more of a dive composition here.
hmm That being said, I actually do love like the pick from Fedora to just mirror this Pharah because I'm expecting Zen to come out in the Pharah at least. Um, even then, I just love this like Ana Kiriko with this comp, especially if you think they're on Brawl. Uh, that being said, I'm just wondering how the rats are going to adjust now, and Zen does go to the cast instead here
Yep, and
and
Rusty going
to
committing
the
to the
hog.
hog here. Yeah, I like that into the Elko Doom. I think that's a really good read to have. Because you have the ability to just hook out and deny the value on the Doomfist. Elko already forced out of the position. With Fedora looking to take this high ground position. I know you yourself, Neptune, know how good Farah can be on this first point. Putting down a lot of oppressive fire. Potentially mean
Nord
Nord
gets
finds the
the
first
pick.
pick. Nord Widowmaker? Could be big?
Yeah, they're just gonna flood all the space and just keep tabs on this hotel. And finds a pick on
great hook.
Osmodeus, I mean.
Yeah, Rusty looks very, very good with his hooks. And we know that out of all the maps, I think the Rats look the best on this hybrid style map, and maybe this is why they have so much flexibility with what they can do, what they can run here. They absolutely decimate Elko and Sonic Chronic on the point and get an almost instant capture of King's Row first. And they're still going for more.
Yeah, and they'll probably find Osmodeus here even. Oh no, he's getting out. He's running, he's sprinting. Yeah, I mean, I really like, even though,
oh, that was clean. Great kill on Denorit.
Yeah,
And a great follow-up nade from Karchar too.
Rusty is living here in this mega, and that's going to be crucial for this card progress to just make. Yeah, just free card push, you know. Even though we would say, like, the Rats lost that fight, just getting all this card pressure and getting everyone low in these trades are just, yeah, like, we're just keeping this, like, one fight going on forever and just free card push. This is just amazing for the Rats. You get one more kill with Allegro ult, and they just cap second, like, without ease.
Guangdong needs the reset here. They need to be able to get back as a team, and they're not even going to find it. Harchar is going to fall. That's going to be a primary source of not just healing, but engagement onto the point, taken out. Rusty and Fedor just commanding so much space onto this high ground and low ground. Finally gets denied. Zinth going to pop the Deadeye, shuts down Rusty as well. For the first time, we finally see Richfield Rats kind of on the back foot.
Yeah, yeah, if you're a Tigers fan, you know, you're just saying finally getting that stopped, right? North does go to the cast, and I think that's going to be a great pick overall. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing like a lot of just amazing picks from Fedora, and I think all the Rats had to do is like amp up the tempo a little bit and just use that Miracle ult in the joke, and they'll be fine. But as you see, Rusty finds a pick on Elko with his team, and they get to just flood the space and just clean up the rest of the Tigers squad here.
And their
Fedora is just amazing
so good
right now.
They have their go key and they just commit to it. They're not afraid to push into really anything at all. Fedora's even looking for more here, and he gets the trade onto Zinth. At this stage in the game, it's only good for them. They keep getting picks. They already got the point. They're building up more and more ultimates to their favor. And they're sitting on a lot right now, but so are the Guangdong Magic Tigers.
Oh,
We need them to get aggressive in turn with this, but Rusty finds yet another here. And just able to get this much space, get this much damage all the way through. It's a high-low split. It's always going to be Fedora commanding the space on high. And Rusty on this low ground. Zinth finally, or Asmodeus actually finally making the swap over onto the cast Zinth on the Sojourn. So the double hit scan setup is big, but it's two ults stacked on top of it. The Meteor Strike comes down, and so does the Barrage and the Hog ult. And now they're just going to go to spawn.
Yeah, this is such a great job from the Rats, just taking these fights quick. I really need a support ult to come out before someone dies, and as you see, Nord falls, double support ult come from the Rats, and hopefully they can just clean up on this backline, and they are just going hard at it. And Elko's going to be the sole survivor here shortly after this carry push. Yeah.
And Zinth at least back for a bit of contest. Elko still holding strong on the point with that block. It could be turnable here. Asmodeus with a bit of hero play. Sonic TPing into the fray as well. But a nice hook from Rusty. 3v3 fight on the point. We're now Nord back on this Widowmaker. Actually, maybe 3v2 down for the side of the Rats. And this is a massive stop if you are the Guangdong Magic Tigers. Hang on to a bit of ultimates at the same time too. So this could snowball into an even greater hold.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, just once you get that far into King's Row, it's just so devastating being nearly able to cap and just lose like that and having to reset their whole progress. But if anyone can do it, like, Rats just seem like unstoppable right now with what they're doing. That being said, they make a little bit of a few swaps like this D.Va from Rusty to control these high grounds a lot more and just being able to take it. And as of right now, I'm not liking how aggressive they're playing anymore. I think once you get to the start, it's really easy for Osmodeus and Zenth to play these high grounds and far back and just free fire and get everyone low on the side of the rats here.
Given the rats need to find some stabilization. Lego with a massive pick, and North one to follow too. Gaining a 5v2 advantage on towards the point. Teddy M's actually gonna push into this. And Rusty taking the space, but the E doesn't come into effect. Fedora's gonna trade with this barrage onto Hardchar. The stabilization's there on point. They need to find a pick onto Zinth here. Rusty's trying to dive it, put Zinth to a nice little slide to get out of dodge. Fedora finds 3 though. As I'm speaking, looking for the 4th, needs to shut down Elko. Finds that one too, and Hardchar can't touch soon enough. So a 2-minute time bank for the Richfield Rats, and you gotta be pretty happy about that.
Oh, 100%, you know. The Rats just have a game plan on like what they want to do no matter what. It's like they probably talked a little bit about what the side of the Tigers would go, but they just saw Elko in and they're like, yep, we're going this comp, right? And they're just owning on it, you know. Like I'm just happy that even though I mean, they just seem so well prepared to take on this Elko Doomfist look with this Roadhog, with this Pharah, with this Widow, and as you're seeing, like they just deny Elko, and then that makes a ton of space for North to find those picks as well as for Aurora. Ooh, this is getting silly.
Yeah, am I crazy to like ask for the brawl here from Guangdong? I don't know. Like their brawl
I think
is
a little.
so good. Yeah, I don't know.
You
And
say
I know
that,
this
but
is the comp that they play dive on too.
yeah, I mean
don't
Elko
know.
always comes in for that second map, and it just seems like they always do like a dive map / Elko on Doomfist. So I think that even though like I think it's valid to say like, hey, take the brawl look, but you know, the Tigers, I think why they're so formidable is they stick to their guns and they make it work. And we gotta see how well they adapt here. And I'm liking this like double flex support. Just disco to the hog and blow them up. They're just gonna have a lot of blowing up stuff to do, and hopefully let's see if Rusty can find a pick here.
Yeah, but there's a double flex support on the side of the Richfield Rats too. Everybody seems to be on their comfort hero with Nort now onto that Bastion. Rusty on the hog, looking for the hook, but can't seem to find it here. Fedora with a great shutdown on that high ground. This 3-2 split from the Rats is looking extraordinarily formidable right now as Zinth just taken out as well on the point. Fedora just commanding this high ground. Nort doesn't even really need to do anything fancy here. He can just jump over to the high ground and go for some poke towards spawn.
Yeah, I'm not envious and having to play into this comp. It looks so annoying for the Tigers. It's gonna be a really slow game, and right now, like the slower they play is, it seems like Fedora and Rusty are being able to find opportunities onto the enemy team. And Elko's 1 HP on point and has to get out, and North is just flanking the backline, has Bastion with farm on statue.
Yeah, but picks in favor of the Guangdong Magic Tigers. They do manage to take this high ground. Just gonna be Teddy and Rusty trying to stabilize towards the point. Rusty not able to get on though, as Asmodeus is just taking control of this high ground position. We'll see if Teddy can even get a TP out. Yes, he can. Does manage to re-stabilize with the team, but I don't think that there's gonna be another touch for the Richfield Rats.
Yeah, I mean, as the Rats, you're just happy that it took that long for them to cap, and the primary goal into these next points is just playing really slow and just draining that clock down.
Enemy turret destroyed.
But on that note, they're finding it very hard to get that real contestation onto Zinth. The Orb of Healing on him just doing so much, and there's not really a character that can challenge if he's respecting the Hog LOS and respecting the Bastion LOS. Nort trying to do something with the form, but gets shut down by Hardchar. The sidelines are just ending up to be too good, and Turret's gonna be able to fall as well. Zinth and Elko just in the back line, putting in some massive work here. Rusty's kept up on both sides. Fedora, Elko, both traded out, but Zinth is there for the cleanup. Raj, with the help of Hardchar, finds 3.
Yeah, this is for sure a slippery slope, but like, I would have loved to see like Teddy just rip that Kitsune and everyone just like W key to cart and like just kill whoever's touching and then just like turn for whoever's in the back line. It's just so important that they make that space like they did on first, and as you're seeing, like, Tigers are just taking that momentum of them playing slow, and this early window comes through, and the molten core comes out to contest window, but to no avail.
Yeah, it doesn't really get the best contest. The window's still left with 1 or 2 players able to stay on it. High Noon and Trance phasing in towards that window on the high ground. Norton trying to abuse with the form from that position. Not going to be able to find anything. All they catch is Norton falling down. Rusty getting demaxed on the point. Fedora trying to make some heroics happen. But Elko's just there with the cleanup, with the picks, with everything they need. Everybody's gonna fall, giving Guangdong a good start onto this 3rd point.
Yeah, I mean, I love the adaptations that the side of the Rats are making, but is it a little too late, right? That's what we gotta ask ourselves.
I mean, they still got overtime at least. If it's a
They
little
do.
too late, you know.
Yeah, but I would have loved to see amazing Suzu from Allegro. Holy, Elko just finds an amazing power punch onto Allegro with the follow-up from Archar.
And they're just communicating so well and exactly where they want to go. Elko just exploding with these power punches, getting so much value, so much damage. And I don't even know if there's going to be a touch out here from the side of the Richfield Rats. They have 3 on the point, and Allegro not even able to make it back in time. So a 3-minute 30 time break. You thought 2 minutes was good from Richfield. Guangdong showing us we got nothing to worry about. Undefeated team looking to stay undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's just like, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, 2 minutes is an amazing time bank, right? But it's just like so important that you guys put yourself in a situation where we're draining the time bank, right? So if we can't like go into a kill box and go fast like we wanted to on attack, we gotta slow it down and mark these angles, right? And that's something that the Rats aren't really adjusting well. The Tigers are just like taking the fact that they're on attack, they found their comp that's like working right now, and they're playing true to it. Whereas the Rats now, as they're seen on attack, just like having to adapt, right? And that's not all, you know, that's not necessarily bad, right? I think that's what we do a lot on the Saoris, but in this situation, you just want an answer, and right now, the Tigers have that answer for them.
Yeah, and Zinth even going over onto the Echo, trying to give Fedora a bit of what was sent back his way on the defender side. And this defense, the Sonic Archer duo just keeping the team fully healthy, enabling so many picks. Nort really has to come up massive, really has to find a head on this Widow just to start off if they want this composition to come into fruition.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and I was just seeing this like slow kind of approach from the side of the Rats. Especially it's gonna be hard against the Zenith Echo now, right? It's just nearly impossible to play this Echo. And as you see, Fedora's playing really reserved, just trying to poke out Elko. And he's an amazing dive onto the backline, getting Sonic Ronic and getting to both backline.
Yeah, and that was great. The explosion there from Richfield Rats looking reminiscent to first point in Nepal for them. Picks are going to come out, and they're going to keep 3 on point. They want to cap this out as soon as possible. No swaps over from Guangdong, so they could look to recontest this. They don't have any ultimates nearing completion yet, but actually going to decide not to contest it. They're going to chill out here. Actually, no, Elko looking to go in a bit, realizing that Rusty's still in that baby form. So, want to push the aggression while they still can. Punch goes a bit to the side here, and Elko goes a bit too aggressive, getting punished. And Zinth is gonna fall as well.
Yeah, no, we were talking about Drake in team chat and match chat a little bit earlier. It looked like Elko kind of was doing their Drake cosplay for that baby.
What? What? I did not expect to hear that one yet.
On the side of the Rats, they got this amazing Lugger ult coming out of Fedora. You know, this is Rats' fight to win. It's just really important that they don't allow Elko to pop off or find any picks and gain this Doomfist ult. Archer is closing this this window here too, which should turn in their favor. And Elko gets tricked very early.
Those are, I think, a perfectly timed barrage. That's the exact question you want. And the bomb from Rusty finds 3. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a Richfield Rats fan. Fedora pushing the aggression, getting a kill onto Zinth as well. They still got 2 on point. They're still pushing this up. Richfield Rats still have some fight to give.
And most importantly, just we still have Nordult and Allegro coming out, and that's gonna be so impactful in these next coming fights.
Yep, I want them to push their aggression with it, and that's exactly what they do here. Allegro instantly pops this Kitsune rush. May not be able to find anything, but it's creating a lot of space. Rusty dropping dangerously low, gets D-Max, gets forced out. So Guangdong finally with a lead into this fight here, as Modius gets the kill with the Deadeye as well. Sonic with some cleanup on towards the point. Is there going to be a touch? Yes, there is, but it's not going to be enough. So many ults snowballing for the Guangdong Magic Tigers. It's just Teddy left on the point, trying to survive, trying to thrive, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of being aggressive there from the Rats, but it was a little too early, you know, just not being able to like get onto a target that you want, you know. They just really needed to play for the Tigers recontest and just have Rusty move that point. Nonetheless, that was an amazing push from the Rats, just securing to the like beginning of third. It's just so important when the side of the Tigers have 3 minutes to play with. And as we talked about, we just need to see. We're probably gonna see like some sort of like earlier comp with like that Torb Diva, hopefully, maybe just slow the game down.
Yep.
And get those good fights. And I'm just entirely wrong there, rolling out on like Pharah, Monkey, and the Venture here.
I think they're just planning on going aggressive with this. Like,
they probably will, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Playing attack or playing their defense like the attack side, and just trying to catch out players like Hardchart, players like Asmodeus, the players with less mobility who cannot sustain as much on towards the back line. So we'll have to see if it comes to fruition. Sonic moving over onto the Mercy to give Zinth the pocket, though. I don't know if the Richfield Rats are expecting that, and they don't really have much to challenge this far, Mercy.
And like you talked about, they just want to go into that back line, but who are you gonna go on now? Hardchar?
Yeah,
that's gonna be so difficult for the side of the Rats here.
Yeah, and identifying this comp, I mean, really all the Richfield Rats have to do is buy time in this fight, but at the same time, they need to be capitalizing on these picks. Fedora, Master, and Asmodeus both get traded out by the tanks on either side. Elgo's already on this point, controlling the space. Richfield Rats are doing a great job of playing this aggressively, though. Nor does manage to find Zinth, but the res from Sonic Chronic is there to help stabilize the team. Allegis Hardchar in the meantime, they're playing this very well for the side of the Rats. They're contesting high grounds, they're contesting far when they need to, but Zinth gets a pick onto Allegro. Now just having Teddy M, that Lucio 4 heals, is not going to be enough. Richfield Rats have to be extraordinarily careful here as Teddy and Nort gets punched to oblivion.
That and power punch. The power punch from Elkar are going crazy. But nonetheless, I love that dive from the Rats, and all they need to do is like keep it up and just like keep draining this time bank. That being said, it would have been a lot better and easier to do with previous versions of what they were running, like that Hog, like that Torb.
Diva. I feel like Diva works amazingly here too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Hog was doing so great at shutting down Elko that that's a great way to slow down the game. But as we're seeing, just like these dives come through onto like Sonic Chronic and onto Zinth here, it's just so important for the Rats here.
And just doesn't find anything with the barrage. Card progress has sort of slowed down here. The brawl, like this sort of like brawl hybrid dive push that the Richfield Rats are going for, is managing to work out. Zinth finding 3 though. It's going to be a big turning point, but still a very, very tall task. They had the lead on time bank going into overtime. Now just down to a minute and a half. Is it going to be enough, especially with another contestation onto this second point?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so important for this Rats to get this touch with probably like Alert here.
Off the point here. They don't care about the point. They want to win this fight. Now jumping back towards it, but a lot of stall there from Richfield Rats, and they're gonna get the primal just to buy even more time. Asmodeus invests the Deadeye, but it's not going to find anything. Rusty Goomba still has this primal, still stalling out on the point, and may even manage to get out with his life. So not only is that some great stall, they may even be able to send themselves back in this with Asmodeus still coming back on the respawn. Harchar, early window out, early positioning, but Fedora, Teddy M, they're showing up on the point, they're showing up big. Finding picks, it's Elko, Sonic, now just Elko, trying to dance, trying to weave on the point, but at this point in time, they just gotta get out. Elko trying to escape with his life, Rusty looking aggressive.
Yeah, I love the fact that they won that fight and played to win that fight. I don't love the ults invested into that fight though. That being said, this is gonna be really crucial. Like they can even give up this point as long as they get out an ult. If they get out Zinth and Sonic Chronic and live, that's more than they need. OT's ticking and that's all they gotta play for.
Yeah, an early Valk out from Sonic Chronic, trying to stabilize Zinth on the back line. But Rusty Goomba is the one who finds the pick. It's going to be onto Asmodeus. The barrage comes out, catches Rusty, but gets traded out. Fedora finds one. Teddy M goes down as well. The res is going to come out. Sonic Chronic, does he get it? No, he doesn't. Nor with the shutdown, nor with the hero play. Elko builds the ultimate, drops down on the point, finds enough with the help from Hardchar. They are going to manage to stabilize on the point, but that's exactly what you need if you're the Richfield Rat. Not just 2 ults out. I think that was 3 ults out. And now Asmodeus on a swap, so they really have nothing going into this.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be so hard for Rikas. You know, Fedora's got to find those legendary picks that he's been kind of doing throughout this map, and they're gonna be trying to find some way to pocket Rusty on the point. Rusty's doing a great job at zoning backline and keeping their health safe, and building his primal.
A great stabilization for the Rats here. Looking to hold down this point, looking to keep overtime ticking. Rusty goes back in again. Sonic with the swap over onto Brig, trying to give this team, this backline, some stabilization, some support. But Zinth is now dropping extraordinarily weak. The primal comes in, and the touch, it's not there. Richfield Rats
win.
managed to squeak out King's Row from the Guangdong Magic Tigers.
The Tigers bleed. That's all I gotta say about this. The Tigers are bleeding finally.
Yup.
You know, it took till the end of the season, but as you've seen from the Kiwis, as you've seen from the Rats, the Tigers can lose maps.
Hey, Fat Bomb, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. That was quite massive.
Yeah, no, it's just amazing strategies from the Rats. Just like, I want to say they even like played like funny stuff. You know, a lot of these characters just what they play, right? And they have their own game plan on how they want to execute and making some adaptations. You know, I love that like Venture Farah look that they have with that dive.
Yup.
That was like
Nort
so
on
amazing.
Venture is crazy too. Like he is looking dangerous. He's getting picks onto the far right. He's getting picks onto the like people he should not be getting these engagements on and getting these picks on. He is getting picks on, and sure that's credited to Fedora with that poke damage. Sure that's credited to Rusty for those dives on the Winston on the Diva, but they're looking so strong when they commit to something and they just go in.
Yeah, no, it's just been amazing from the Rats, and you know, just looking forward to this next map of Servasa.
Yeah, I want to see the Richfield. I want to see the Richfield Rats just commit to what they're good at. You know, if it's Norton on tank and the JQ comp, go for that. If it's Rusty in on tank and they're doing this Hog comp or this Diva comp or this Winston comp with the Venture, go for that too. But they got to commit to it once they find out something that works, and they got to get those ults. They got to get that snowball effect and play it like they played that third point of King's Row.
Oh, 100%. And that being said, though, we're gonna take it to a quick 2-minute bio, and we'll be right back.
And welcome back, everybody, to the playoffs quarterfinals between the Guangdong Magic Tigers and the Richfield Rats 2. Currently, we've had a banger series so far. Guangdong Magic Tigers took Nepal, and then the Richfield Rats sent us to Kings Row and managed to squeak it out in, I think, what was a 6-5 overtime, which is
Pretty sure. Yeah.
pretty deep.
Yeah, it might have been 5-4 is what we're
Okay.
getting heard from our amazing booth up in the sky.
And the Richfield Rats joining an elite group of teams in the Kathmandu Kiwis and the Australian
Aardvarks.
Aardvarks in people who have taken a map off of the Guangdong Magic Tigers. Not many people can say that, but I mean, yeah, they managed to do it. So big props to them thus far. I'm sure they'll be happy if even with this one map won, but I know for a fact they want to stay in playoff contention. They want to take this all the way to map 4 or map 5 and end up with a win.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I would say anyone does, right? Especially if you made it this far in the playoffs, you know. I think you just want to see it through as much as possible. And that being said, I'm just wondering, we're seeing like pretty much the exact same lineup for the Rats, but Red Cats is coming back in for Elko, and Elko is moving to that DPS spot. I'm really curious on how Rats' game plan will go into the brawl comps now, because I think it's really nice that you can make it so scrappy against comps like Doomfist, and it's easier too. But like against like a coordinated brawl like we saw from the Tigers, I don't know about that, and I'm excited to see what the Rats do.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because they opting to not swap over to maybe what was kind of working on Nepal. I do like the attempt at flexibility here, but I'm wondering if they're going to be able to stick with it, and when they're going to incorporate flip flop into their competition. Oh, we may have a pause here.
Sonic Ronic forcing the R. They say, Rats, you don't get a choice. You're going in.
You're going in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see what the Rats choose. You know, it's just going to be really kind of telling of how the Rats want to play the rest of the series, let alone this map.
Mhm.
And I'm expecting maybe some like sort of like venture look
Want
again.
venture. I want venture.
Yeah. I mean,
North.
like we saw, ooh, straight up brawl. I love I low-key love this. And I'm pretty sure 10M is gonna go that Lucio like we saw on first map. Dude, I love this brawl look, actually. You know, I think it's very possible. Especially since neither team is opting for that Mei. It's just straight up forcing shield and point, and just if Red Cat just decides to walk, he will just get melted by Nort.
Yeah, and you also got to remember, Fedora definitely a tough adversary to face. One of the best Torbs, not just in the league, but in all of NA, I'd say. So definitely no easy task for Zinth and Elko to try and mark out that composition. We do have two different approaches. Red Cactus and the Guangdong Magic Tigers looking to play towards this point side. Oreste Goomba taking the outside lane, taking their time, taking their space, and waiting for the right time to go in. Just getting that shield recharge, getting ready for the Bastion form, and the explode on the point. They do jump forward here. Torp turret gets placed down. A lot of face taken in a big fire strike from Rusty Goomba. He finds two. They're going in. They're taking names. And Zinth manages to get out by the skin of their teeth, but that explosion, that decisiveness is what we want to see, Neptune.
Yes, 100%. You know, I just love it. They coordinated that push with the point unlocking. 3, 2, 1 step. Just flood the point and just find that right click, find that fire strike. And it's just an amazing fire strike from Rusty to execute. And as you're seeing, just the same thing go again. Just force point, fire strike, and 3, 2, 1 form and walk at them.
Yeah, and they are looking good with this too. They're taking space. They use the form, they use fire strikes, they use all that to take the space, and then they immediately back up, they immediately stabilize, they immediately put down that turret. Red Cactus may try to go in off this, but immediately it's just a switch again. Rusty looks to go in, find anything, but doesn't manage to escape out with his life. The immortality field a bit late there. Teddy M gets a trade though. Nord trying to stabilize as well. Fedora with another pick too. Now it's just Red Cactus left alone. He needs to get out. He needs to find the reset. But they're taking their time. They're getting a slow kill on him. And they're going to clean up this point.
That comp from the side of the rat seems so annoying to deal with.
They're cooking. They're cooking, Neptune.
Yeah, they are. It's just like so amazing. Just like even though the Tigers are doing the right thing and baiting out that form, it just seems like they don't have enough pressure to capitalize after. You know, ults is what the Tigers need like to win out. But that being said, just they're able to keep this high ground with this Fire Strike window that's probably going to come out here soon, very shortly, especially when this point unlocks.
Yep, and they're just biding their time. They are totally fine with waiting this out till the last second. And now eventually going to jump down onto the point. A high noon and a window for the side of Guangdong. But it's not going to find anything. The ults are coming in second for Richfield Rats. And it's going to be almost everything.
Holy Lord.
Finds 3. The artillery strike lights up the side of Guangdong Magic Tigers. And they may have clicked Q 4 times, but like, I mean, they won the point, so that's what matters, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, that will bite them in the butt, right? Unless they could play some sort of really aggressive neutral and be able to kite and ult out. That's what the Rats need to play for, and hopefully, right now, they're opting into this high ground brawl, and where hopefully Rusty can find a lot of picks, but Alco just gets a nice off angle onto Allegro.
Yep, great space being made, but Aurora finds a nice pick in response. Picks going on favor of Guangdong Magic Tigers as Red Cactus does manage to clean up Rusty. And Guangdong showing a sign of life. Good stabilization there for the last moments from Fedora on the point, getting them up to 74%, and that is crucial because that's on a map like Flashpoint, a map like Cervasa, that is last fight territory. So if they're able to go aggressive with this beat, kite out the Annihilation, they can make some big things happen.
Yeah, I mean, for sure not aggressive with this beat. You know, you really want to save it to either just like keep surviving against Red Cactus or just beat second. As we're seeing, the beat comes out first, but Red Cactus needs to die. He just needs to get burnt. And as we're seeing, just the shield off and denying Red Cactus any lifesteal. And Elko and Zin on these angles just taking apart the Rats' backline.
Yeah, I think they found something that works here, and great call with that no aggression with the beat. They find an angle that works, the space. They have these long-range hit scan DPS, and if Richfield Rats opt to just run over the core, just hardcore, I mean, it's not going to work out if Elko is just like getting so much damage on off angle. Isn't getting so much damage on an off angle. Next point will show here, and it's going to be an unfortunate spawn for the Richfield Rats at least, because I believe Guangdong gets the lucky same side flip. They are going to be able to contest about at equal times. Richfield getting there a big sooner.
Huge
the shatter! It's massive. They got to shut down that. Oh, they got to shut down the space, but they do manage to. Harshar, quick pick on the Rusty though. He's been coming up clutch in this match. The stabilization is there on the point for Richfield Rats, but the point's not even active yet. They went a bit too early, and now it's a 5v3 advantage. Nord has this Bastion for him, but doesn't have the HP to stabilize himself. And Allegro, last to fall. Guangdong managed to take that next point on Cervasa, or this next point on Cervasa, at least the early cap.
That's so unlucky. Rusty went for the pin, and Alco almost got knocked off the map, and I feel like that fight would have gone the other way if, or at least a lot closer if Alco hadn't managed to fall off. That being said, it's really scary going into this next fight. Red Cactus and Zip have their ults basically online. Sonic Ronic is just like to survive a lot during that fight and already has a beat almost already.
Getting the ult advantage definitely swaying in the favor of Guangdong. Zin's gonna pop that overclock, instantly finds Nort onto the point. Rusty tries to pin in, tries to create some space for the team. Gets booped out, gets forced out. It looks like another dead fight for the Richfield Rats.
Yeah, I mean, that should be this point for the side of the Tigers.
Yeah, definitely going to be no contestation for the Richfield Rats. They don't have the time, they don't have the resources. Are they looking for it here? They shouldn't be looking for it here, right?
I think they should cancel it here shortly.
Wait, They get the touch,
Oh,
okay.
They did get it.
Overtime touch, artillery strike out. Doesn't find anything, but gets a little bit of damage on either side. Rusty Goomba now trying to get this engagement onto Sonic Chronic. Does manage to find it, but now split out from the rest of the team in Rex Cactus with some nice cleanup. But meanwhile on the point, they ignored the main damage dealer for the Richfield Rats. And now Rex Cactus forced to invest his Annihilation, but it's actually Harchar, the one who's keeping up the team and providing the damage for the team on the point. Finds 3 and is going to close that one out.
If you're the Rats, you are at least happy with getting Red Cactus and Sonic Chronic's ult out. In this fight, all you gotta do is just plan accordingly to play really aggressive into Elko and Harchar so they don't get free value with their ultimates here. You know, I'm expecting a really quick fight on the side of the Rats with this window and just take this brawl hardcore. Or just like, even here, just play good angles around point and just window their walk up and just hard brawl on point.
And this is so winnable, they just cannot click Q 4 times here. They have 4, but they can't click it 4 times. And I love this read from them. They're marking the flank from Elko here, and they're actually stepping on it, they're engaging on it, but it might be too much pull. It might be too much for them, but no! Rusty comes in with the big shatter. They even get out the window from Harchar. Fedora on the point, finds 3, Synth, the last one standing, but Teddy M with some quick moves on the point. It's gonna clean up a quick team kill for the Richfield Rats.
I miss Reinhardt. It's just so satisfying to see all these big slams coming around now, finally.
Everybody misses Reinhardt, and look at the speed, look at the aggression, look at the core. The core is just so good for the zoning ultimate, but a boop from Sonic is going to be the hero play. That finds 2, the DPS shut down. Teddy M, the last one on the point, dodging, weaving, trying to get out with his life. Does manage to get the zoom around the point, jumps all the way up top, getting a bit more touch, but not gonna be able to find much of anything. Good news is, does manage to get out of with his life, and the Richfield Rats do manage to hang on 2 ults. Have both supports looking into the dead eye of Elko.
Yeah, I mean, right there, I would have loved to see, like, just set up angles around point with that window. And it's gonna be so impossible for the side of the Tigers to push into you guys, especially since you have that Torbolt. And I was saying, hopefully Elko just gets burned, forces ammo, and has to pull early. And now all Rats need to do is flood the site and look for a brawl with their beat, hopefully.
Yeah, but Synth has the option for the OC, but Teddy M gets the boop on him. And the trade, or no, not even a trade. Rusty just sends Red Cactus completely off the map. They fall, and now it's just on the side of the Rats. They need to clean up these kills. They do manage to find Harchar late, but is it going to be late enough for them to keep this momentum?
Stuffing these chokes here. Stuffing these chokes are going to be so important, and just being able to kite it. And they're just going to make this as tough as possible, but Zenth is looking for this touch from high ground and OC, and double Sportals come out, and Zenth doesn't get beat, so he just gets hard farmed, and they don't even touch.
And that's 2 ults for one of the Richfield Rats. They have the ult advantage, and not only that, they're getting staggers too. But it's even on both sides, as the supports from Guangdong Magic Tigers are managing to put in some serious work. I mean, Harchar is quite the aimer here, I won't lie, but eventually going to get cleaned up. And him going down that late is going to be absolutely devastating for the Guangdong Magic Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, these ults are looking very juicy from the Rats. They need to make sure that they save this. They're taking this fight quick, just flooding the space and making Soj on. All right, I was about to say on an island, but now she's out, and all they have to do is just make sure Rusty saves this for a fast shatter, as he always has. You know, especially against this Ramatra ultis that land.
High Noon, but a shatter to counter it out. Doesn't catch the High Noon though. Elko now sped onto the point, gets the pull, but doesn't find anything. Multiple ults being popped, the Annihilation, the core on the point. Red Cactus has to be careful about where he treads, and North's just gonna explode him on the point. Elko with the trade, finds the second as well. Allegro trying to get that stabilization, keep Rusty up. It's the Allegro. Fedora on the point, Allegro falls, Rusty's still there too. Harchar putting in so much damage, 50, about 4 or 57%, 58. All they're gonna be able to find now 60.
Yeah, I would have loved if they just like kited that like High Noon or like responded with Fedora's ult first, and then just save that shatter for red to cast this, or destabilizing afterwards. You know, it's really hard to follow up on that shatter because so many resources are still out. But that being said, that's all in the past. All that matters is Nort just making the space with their ultimate, and their brawl is going to come out hard here. But and it looks like to no avail.
Yes, into some very good cleanup kills. If you're the Rats, you may need to give this one up. It's a scrappy fight, and it may not be one at this point in time that they can win here. They're now getting some stabilization back towards the point. Last fight territory for both teams, and all it's now swinging in favor of Guangdong Magic Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Fedora can find this ultimate online here shortly, but this is looking drastic. You know, 3 or 4 ultimates on the side of Tigers. They just look for this OC quickly. Teddy, I'm trying to kite and has to probably be here very shortly. But they make it a
really
play.
good rotation.
Oh.
It is a winnable position. The B comes in a bit late. Only heals 3 members of the team up. Norton's the last one on the point. Trying to stabilize the rest of the team. Teddy M with a bit of heroics though. Does manage to catch out Elko. Now looking at this Lucio 1v1 versus Sonic Chronic. But Synth and Sonic are there on the point to get the cleanup. The flip does come in. But is it going to be to any avail? Rusty pins in onto the point. But it's the entire side of the Guangdong Magic Tigers facing you down and cleaning you up. And the Richfield Rats cannot do anything. But they put up a big fight on Suravasa.
Oh, 100%, you know. For this map, you just gotta keep it out of mind and just really focus next, you know. They were so close to winning it out multiple times, but at the end of the day, the ult economy and ult usage from the Tigers just is like showed a lot more, and just amazing Sonic Chronic play of the game here.
Yeah, Sonic is definitely feeling good today. Moving quite well. And now, if you're the Richfield Rats, now you enter a very interesting position because Rusty on tank has been working, but the line for running the Rusty, Fedora, Flip Flop, Allegro, Teddy M is 20 SR too high. So you need to put Flip Flop in on that DPS role on this map. That means flipping Nort over onto the tank, so they're gonna go for a bit different look. At least I'd imagine here.
So we're seeing map 1 look then, huh?
Maybe, but I will say they have done the Rusty on DPS. Ideally, they like complement Flip Flop there, and then put Fedora on the tank too is another possible line that they could run if they want. So I think there's a lot of decision making that's going through the Rat's mind here on like what they want to do, because something about the tank pool of Rusty Goomba, the comms being in there, definitely has been extraordinarily helpful for the side of the Rats. So if I'm them, I don't want to take Rusty out. He's cooking, you know.
I 100% agree.
And they're actually gonna go Circuit Royale. Dude, I love Circuit as a pick. I think that's a great pick that really forces Guangdong Magic Tigers to go outside of their comfort zone.
Yeah, I think so too. We've never seen like that look from the Tigers, from what I'm thinking about.
Well, I mean,
And you think?
I can count the number of times that the Magic Tigers have been on map 4 on 3 fingers.
That's
So
very true.
so I mean, I can't be saying much. They are going to, oh, this is actually a different flip that they have. They're going to put Nort in on the tank. This makes sense because Nort can play that Sigma. They're going to put the Rusty flip-flop DPS, and they're going to get Fedora on the support line. Somebody who can play that Baptiste or that Zenyatta role. Probably, I think that Zenyatta role, I think, is what they do on this team to a very, very high level.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all. It feels weird to say this, but I'm assuming with the switches, like, they're probably gonna go for a spam. But I'm just so curious to what the side of the Tigers will do. I'm assuming they will go like a spam. If not, we'll probably see like some OWCS action with that like Farah even here? Like, I can imagine Zin's just pulling out that Farah here.
I mean, the far we don't see it on circuit, but it can work on circuit for sure. I mean, to be fair, we only play the Aligatas on circuit, so we're just dueling it out there on sniper stuff. But the Farah is definitely a very viable character on Circuit Royale because you can abuse those high grounds, you can take space very well. It's just on the side of the Richfield Rats DPS to really mark that space, make sure that Zinth isn't getting enough value.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of adaptation if the teams aren't going for a mirror, right? Just like who has the better idea of how they want to run their comp, like we saw in previous maps, of Vikings Row.
And it's interesting because they're opting to sub out Harchar for Asmodeus here for that sort of double Sonic Asmodeus support line and keep the same core with Wrecked Cactus on that tank, which sort of alludes to me that they want to keep Wrecked Cactus on the tank, but they especially want these high SR DPS in Elko in Zinth to be able to win these long range hit scan battles if it goes to that.
Yeah, and I think that's also like what they could be playing for too. If you have DPS like Zenth and Elka, like why not put them on those snipers?
Interesting matchup here. As the sides do swap, Sonic and the rest of Guangdong Magic Tigers are looking to go for this attack first. So I have to see exactly how that goes for them, exactly what they're planning on, at least rolling out on. I like attacking first, me personally. I think that's the optimal solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get to see what that enemy was gonna run, and especially like a team like the Rats, where you're unsure if they're gonna get the Sigmir, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like unknown territory for, I believe, I know it's unknown territory for the Guangdong Magic Tigers, but I think it's unknown territory for both teams here.
Yeah, for the Circuit Royale here.
The Circuit Royale, I'm gonna do some research, but I believe it's unknown territory.
We're cooking right now.
I'm all about my stats. Gotta make sure I know everything, and nobody else knows anything. Actually, Guangdong played Circuit Royale week 1.
Wait, the Tigers did?
Yeah, Guangdong Magic Tigers. They played it week 1 against the Australian Aardvarks,
Mm-mm.
and they won it.
Okay, okay. I wish we had the VODs for that, yeah, so we could see what they play. But now we have new VODs to see what they play.
Real! Surely me and Neptune aren't just using this as an excuse to vote of you against whatever team wins.
Oh, 100% not.
100% not.
I mean, we should be focused on our Kiwis fisherman game anyways.
That's true. Maybe we
You know?
cast that one too.
Oh, maybe. We gotta wait till the 28th though, unfortunately.
This is a matter of having to wait till the 28th. Sleeper.
And that being said, we are seeing that spam look from the side of the Rats, but I'm not sure if Rakatis is looking to play this, or he's just kind of, just testing the waters and just kind of, team a little bit scared. But I wouldn't doubt seeing this Ram look come out with this comp, even though I do think that the Sigma would be the best in the mirror.
Yeah, I do think the Sigma, especially if you're opting for Zinth on that Widow. Granted, Zinth could just be here for an opening pick, and they could completely switch up their composition entirely. But the scan is going to come out. That's going to detect 5 right on the spawn door. That's going to notify exactly what comp the Guangdong Magic Tigers are opting to run here. Elko on the Genji, looking to provide that pressure onto the backline, but it's very, very long-range comp, very spam-based comp for the side of the Richfield Rats. And they're looking to control all this space, if possible. Red Cactus already looking to challenge his high ground, though, in a good spot to do it as well.
Over there.
Yeah, and just Red Cat's taking this high ground away from the enemy team and just taking this really aggressive ways to find onto their back line.
And North just managed to find Fake on the way out, but it definitely has to be on the way out. They have to kite back. They have to play for about a last touch at this point in time. I don't know if they anticipated the Red Cactus on his roll. Flip-flop with a good trade back onto Zinth, though. Manages to catch her mark on the point. And Rusty now making the mirror over onto the Genji, trying to provide his team with a bit more backline pressure, at least onto Asmodeus. But it's going to be Teddy M who finds that pick. And the support line of the Richfield Rats are definitely nothing to scoff at. You have a lot of your, at least SR, and some could say a lot of your skill on those rolls, so they can definitely put in a lot of damage and command a lot of space for the team. But now, with Zinth having that opening pick, Respawn still coming out for the Guangdong Magic Tigers. They're going to look to push this aggression while Rusty's still on that respawn, though. As Red Cactus trying to fight towards this point. Flip-flop trying to find whatever angles they can. Can we get a pause? I think that Fedora left the game. That is very unfortunate. But it's mid-fight. So, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Now they're gonna find the P.
There we go. The mid fight is just the worst.
Yeah.
Because
It's like,
at that point in time, you can't pause it, and it's like you already committed to it, and it's just oof.
yeah, no, it's always so hard, like, especially in games when no one even on the side of like either team, like let's say like a spectator, like Lavios is prodding, and like all you gotta do is just play it out, you know? That's all it comes to. Like no matter what, you just play it out and the person who's lead has to be responsible for pausing it, right? And it really does suck, right? Just having that happen to you.
Yep. And you lose the transcendence too, which I think he was close to.
Yeah.
Don't wanna quote anything that's incorrect here, but
You know,
that's a very crucial ult that you definitely want back. At least they got up the annihilation though. But into the blade, that's kind of tough.
yeah, I mean the old economy is gonna be like really sad from here on out. And I mean said, the Rats just need to make sure they play a lot more like distance and like respectful of the space creation from Red Cactus. And if not, just like really bait him to running the sig down and being able to like be burnt by the enemy team. And that being said, I would love to probably see more of a heavy spammier character into the Tigers, so that way they can prevent Red Cactus from doing whatever they want. As we're going back in here.
Yeah, you can see Rusty going over onto the Bastion here as a sort of counter swap, but I don't know. I mean, should I be worried about the Bastion into the Genji? Is that concerning?
Not too much. I would say like it's really a little bit gonna be kind of sad without any speed. Like right now, like I would just love to see like a full comp swap into that like rush and just kind of play that. But you know, Fedora's and like they're gonna stick to this double plus sport backline. I feel like, and that way, like as we've seen, it's just very hard to like really help pocket anyone.
Now go with the blade, nailed onto the backline, cleans up Teddy M with the help of Zin. And Red Cactus is just brawling forward. Rusty has the Bastion out, but now has to back up, retreat, get out of dodge. And it's going to be another comp swap over for the Richfield Rash, going onto the Tracer. And now Rusty taking up that Torbjorn too to see if they can find something that sticks.
I do like this look a little bit more from the side of the Rats here into that comp if you're not changing that the back line, right? As we've seen, we're just seeing this like really hard aggressive onto North here, but you just have to give up this angle, play really slow, and just hopefully eventually swing with this Nord ult here.
Yeah, they have to use this Nord ult to really escape, but Asmodeus has been holding on to this Transcendence likely for that exact reason. So even if Nord finds a big one, he may not be able to capitalize on any kills with it. But the frontline pressure from Guangdong Magic Tigers is just so good. The form and the annihilation, putting in so much work. Fedora, the Transcendence is just forced out here to try and stabilize the team, help them get out. Flip-Flop does manage to catch Synth though, so an early pick and some high ground space taken if you're the Richfield Rats here.
Flip-Flop does force strength, which is huge, even though she does trade her life for that.
And the Flux can come out now uncontested, but I don't think he catches anything there, as now Nord has to retreat, has to back up here, has to give a little bit of space, otherwise you may get caught out, and that's exactly what happens as he does fall on the point. Teddy M with a massive trade back onto Elko though.
Oh, that's huge.
Flip
That's
flop
gonna allow them
stabilizing. Oh, Rusty's popping off
finally ult
here. Yep. And that's momentum now. That's what they need.
Now, all the Tigers have to do is just find the answer for taking the start end, but will they be able to find that answer? And Nort going onto this Ramatra mirror, and like we talked about, like Tigers are able to stick to their guns and not make any swaps, and that's why they're so strong, right?
What happened to Zimp there? That's all I'm wondering. Zimp may have jumped off the map because he got caught out. Okay, cool. At least it wasn't something funny.
I love the flip-flop rotate here. Getting out immo very early, and now they don't have it for this brawl.
Oh, and that core is so good too. Like, just completely denies the angle. And now, really Guangdong Magic Tigers, you gotta just jump off here again, get a quick little reset in. But this hold on the high ground, it's looking good for the Richfield Rats.
Yeah, I mean, this fight they have like window to clear out high if they really need to go up there again. But it seems like they're just gonna be playing really slow and forcing cart and trying to switch the Rats' objective up. You know, they have to drop right now, and as we're seeing, the Rourke drops, and all they have to do is like flip this backline now and just play this long angle from them forcing point.
And Elko looking to claim this high ground with the help of Zinth jumping up, taking the space from Rusty. Zinth went over onto the Sojourn not so long ago, so potentially a pick that could come up massive, but Flip-Flop still defending this high ground now, dropping down to the lowdown, putting down that pressure onto the backline. Red Cactus pops the annihilation, down one, and Asmodeus with that complimentary transcendence to keep Red Cactus alive through that ultimate, but the heals from the side of the Richfield Rats are just looking too good.
Yeah, I mean, this Torb angle is just, like the turret is just contesting so much space. And it's like solo marking Zed on this right flank, and as we're seeing just a heavy brawl come out on point.
And Elko pops the blade, but it's not gonna find anything on the high ground. Red Cactus trying to clean up this low ground position. Rusty still hasn't been taken out, neither has Fedora. So this 1-1-1 split is looking so good. Rusty builds up another core, and with the help of Teddy M, gets a trade onto Sonic and Elko and Red Cactus. All three go down, no trades to be seen. And the ult advantage is, I mean, it may not be in their favor, but they still have this window for Teddy M to win out this last fight.
Yeah, no, it's actually just so hard to get any value with these ultimates going into third. They get to play so much distance and just react second with any ultimate they want to. And most importantly, just this window on the end of third is going to be so crucial. You know, all the Tigers need to do is play really slow and try to survive this, but it seems like Elko's low. Elko's one on the right side, has to just get out and gets found by Teddy M. And Window just comes out on point, just like really helping Norton sustain here.
And Flip-Flop's just commanding so much space on that high ground, denying the presence of 2/3 players, and the pulse bomb stick. Oh my gosh, Flip-Flop, she cleans it up. And if you're the Richfield Rats, You're happy about that. You lost
Oh,
Fedora
100%.
at the exact time you did not want to lose him. Like, at the edge of first point when you could have won that, you could have turned that. And now it's just, I feel like I mean, obviously they pushed it to third, but I think momentum may be shifting in their favor.
Yeah, no, the momentum for sure is shifting, and I'm expecting like more of like a this like spam brawl kind of hybrid that we're seeing now here. Come out from both sides of these teams, to be honest with you.
Yep. And it's such an interesting composition because it feels like, again, Richfield Rats, they go through these iterations, they find these adaptations, and it just eventually just clicks for them, and they get the full hold, they get the stop, they get what they need in these fights. Now they're gonna go back over onto this Sig look here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see this swap over to the Ramatra at any point in time. I think they want
Yeah.
to assess exactly what Guangdong wants to do on circuit here, which is that double sniper. So I think this is a good read at the start.
Human after all.
Yeah, no, it's like this double sniper look, and it's just like really awkward again. It's just like, how can the Rats adjust to the Tigers game if not just like demolish them already? And as you saw, this comp was very annoying for the Rats to deal with. So I'm excited to see how the Rats take this approach here.
Well, they have the Sig, which means they have more just swing potential. They have more shield on command, and they can really command more space with this composition. Nort doing a great job of really shielding off this backline. It's really a battle of picks to see who can find who. And Flip-Flop, a quick pick there, gets traded out. But Fedora just there with a complimentary pick as well. Managed to clean up Zinth, and now an early lead for the Richfield Rats here.
Yeah, and as we're seeing, like, it's just so easier for the Rats to kind of dictate that tempo on the side of Red Cactus. You know, get that form force, and Red Cactus is left out for dead.
Yeah, but now full reset for the Guangdong Magic Tigers. 4 down towards low ground, 1 on that high ground position. That's going to be Zinth. Key to this push, key to this hold at least. Nort really has to expend a lot of resources. Conjure his team exactly where that player is, but Elko with another big pick onto Flip-Flop. And Red Cactus, early to push this aggression, drops dangerously low though. Some good respect shown for Guangdong Magic Tigers. And no Dragon, I don't think they know where this is coming from. That's a big one. Diminishes Nort's HP. Sonic helping clean that one up. And now they gotta get out if you're the Richfield Rats. They gotta get this reset. Comp still seems to be working all right though. Flip-Flop is gonna go over onto that Tracer though to get that more backline pressure, and that was what was working for her previously. So I'm excited to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, no, it's just like amazing reclass from the Tigers, and they're just gonna be able to keep on blowing these rotates and just basically halt the Rats' push altogether.
Yeah, but it looks like, I mean, at least it looked like Red Cactus was caught out, but it's actually Nort who gets traded out in exchange. And now Richfield Rats are kind of on the back foot. They keep getting picked out, they keep getting staggered, and ult advantage slowly shifting over to Guangdong's favor. They're looking for this opening, the chance to go in, but they don't have much yet. And Elko, they've sung his praises already, but about 80 to another Dragon Strike here. Looking for some major value, but sights are going to be the first ones popped.
And Red Cactus probably has to ult, if not just to die up there.
And now that he's down, a lot of the space that the Guangdong Magic Tigers were previously commanding has dissipated, but the card has been pushed back far enough where it's a bit detrimental. Nort doing a great job of lifting 2 with that flux, and Rusty is going to find his mark in Elko. The shutdown does come in. Flip-Flop cleans up Sonic Chronic onto the point, and Richfield Rats are going to stay alive on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, no, it's just so important to like clean those kills up, I feel like, and not give them any chance at making your life a living hell there, right? That being said, it's just like both supports on this payload, and I'm wondering how, yeah, we do get followed up here because no support was able to help the Rats there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's more your opinion. You push Fedora Master up there, get his damage, get his Discord orb in the fight, in the fray. But for now, because they're down one, they have to wait for the reset from flip flop, wait for the backup, and the ult use. I mean, for side of the Guangdong Magic Tigers, they haven't really used anything just yet, but they haven't needed to, as Elko finds another pick onto Rusty Goomba. Asmodeus denying flip-flop on that space and even finds themselves a second on the point. Guangdong do manage to clean that one up with a quick team kill.
Yeah, it's just so unlucky. After they get that like nice first win, they need to just make sure they get these fights snowballing, right? Now going through this like rotation again, like we saw in first, it's just like prime moments for Elko and Zenth to really pop off on these rotates. And I'm not gonna be surprised if I see like a dragon or a window come out on this rotate and find picks over here.
Yeah, this is such a like tough high ground to really split off. Rusty tries here with his ultimate, but in exchange the Transcendence and the Sights used from Zenth and Asmodeus respectively onto the point. It's a bit of space gained, and Fedora now gonna go into the trance of his own. Sonic responding, and same with Elko in tandem. The Dragon's gonna catch Teddy, but a trade down onto Zenth. Losing Teddy and then Fedora is gonna be a little bit more costly for the side of the Richfield Rats. And Annihilation invested into this fight too. So that is all 5 ults out for the Guangdong Magic Tigers. A bit sloppy on their ult use, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, Red Cat just has to pop that ult to stay alive because he doesn't want to reset. But that being said, I think just living and being able to bully this rotate again is just going to be so important. And this is where it's going to really show if Red Cat just made that right call, if they can actually get a kill on this rotate. And I'm expecting they might, especially Teddy taking this long route. Window is about to be popped here soon to take the space.
Yep, and there it is. Comes into fruition on the point. Trying to find space with it, but it's actually Asmodeus who finds Fedora on the point. Flip-flop tries to send in the pulse bomb, but doesn't find anything, so now the personnel disadvantage for the Richfield Rats. As Rusty trying to claim the space with the help of Nort and the Flux. The lift comes out. It's going to be on direct Cactus, but they don't find anything with it. And now we're entering last fight territory with Zenth getting these cleanup kills onto Rusty and Nort.
Yeah, I mean, now we talked about like how the ultimates like were just like blown from the tires, but now we're seeing the Rats have no ultimates to play for, and all they gotta do is focus point and just burn this ball or whoever it touches.
And Flip-flop needs this touch. Just managed to get it. Finds a bit of stability on the point too, allowing Nort enough time to get back into the fight. Pulse Bomb gonna force out the lamp from Teddy M on the point, but it's gonna be the Dragon Strike commanding this right side of point, denying the rotation up, and so much damage comes out from the side of the Guangdong Magic Tigers. They are gonna manage to clean up. They get the team kill, and they're gonna take the win. 3-2-1 over the Richfield Rats, hanging on to their undefeated season and keeping their playoff dreams alive.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, an amazing showing from the Rats. Like, there are a few fights, a few more ults going in the Rats' way. Like, we could see an entirely different series here.
I'm overloading.
I mean, nonetheless, the Rats should be just happy about how they took this fight against the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, we did see, in my opinion, this is a great match, and Richfield Rats should be proud of their season, 100%. I know Rusty got the team that he wanted for sure, and I hope it ended at least on a bit of a good note. Going up against debatably the strongest team in the league and taking a map off them is no weak showing if you're the Richfield Rats. So many props to them this season, and we look forward to seeing them play in a bowl game if they decide to.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
Now we got to get into the discussion of who will be our match MVP from the side of the Guangdong Magic Tigers.
I think it's time for an Elko one.
All right, I'm so good for an Elko one.
I think the
Let's bring
Doomfist
it-
game
yeah.
was like amazing. Like, being able to play that tank and the DPS, and I think that really just made way, especially with Elko on Servasa, just like finding those angles and really punishing the Rats' backline.
100%. And obviously, somebody who is very flexible on both roles too. That tank, that DPS looked extraordinary today. You're obviously gonna put, yep, you're
Yes.
obviously gonna put in Elko on every single map because he is your star player. He is that power player on their team, but showing up in style today and helping the Guangdong Magic Tigers secure their win.
Hopefully we can get an interview going, but not sure how that is going.
Yeah, but overall, an exceptional match from both teams.
All right, Elko is in lounge.
All right.
Welcome, Elko.
Hi guys. It's
Yeah.
Congrats
Well,
on the win.
Yeah.
yeah, let's go, thanks. Happy about it.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about, I mean, you obviously knew you were going to be going up against the Richfield Rats in this match. You had a bit to prepare against them. Is there any players, any comps you were a bit worried about from them going into this matchup?
No, not going into the match, but they were doing really well playing their Rhine comp on Servasa Lake. The coordination was just really good, but I mean, like, you know, I had questions about what they would play and stuff personally, but we just didn't know for sure. I mean, we knew the heroes that they would play, but I think they did really good on the Rhine comp. I didn't go into the match expecting that, so yeah, I think that was their like that would have been their way to like beat us. I think would be on that comp. I wanted to swap Hanzo there, but yeah, really going into it, there wasn't really anything that we were looking out for because you know, based off our last matchup, they didn't really play anything like unexpected or anything. So we were just trying to like play our game and make them adjust to us. But it was a little hard to do that on the Rhine. So
Yeah, I think that's what you guys do so well. And that's what like helped you maintain like basically dominance throughout the seasons, you know, just playing your own game and having people adapt to you instead of vice versa.
yeah, it really helps. Like I don't think it would be possible if our team wasn't so like coordinated isn't the word, but there's just a lot of everyone's talking and we're all working with each other and saying, you know, nice job like to each other, and like if that wasn't the case, I think it would be really hard to make like our own thing work all the time because we barely swapped like this season. We basically only been playing Ram, so I owe it to like the team chem because we're able to like overcome the counter swaps and stuff by talking it out.
Yeah, when you look at the counter swaps, who's the one when they counter swap you, who's the one that will call a counter swap on your side? Because I know you did a bit of that at least on the KR. I know you did swapped over the double hit scan that worked out for you on Nepal as well. And then even a lot of that on Circuit Royale, you saw you guys the Rats counter swapped you and then you counter swapped them and Alts got messed up. Fedora left just halfway through, but
Yeah.
you ended up winning that out. But what I'm trying to get at is who's calling those swaps and who's making those team chemistry type ideas.
Yeah. So usually we're like Derek's just like playing Rem, so we kind of have that part covered. The only like swaps we've been considering would be like Amaga. So apart from that, on KR, like when I'm on Doom, we're trying to run Ana, but like for example on that map, like Briggs just kind of unplayable. In my opinion, in the matchup we were expecting. So like in that case, like I'm just talking to my backline, like I'm like, yo, what do we want to do here? Like I do want an Ana, but like we can't really run the Brig because they're gonna run us over, and so then Sonic's just kind of like filling in and being like, I want to do this or that, and to be honest, like the team just we just have a level of trust where like if Zenth wants to swap something, like just fuck it, go for it. Sorry for cussing. And if like, for example, Asmodeus like is sometimes swapping as well on the DPS, but I guess it just comes from like each player like trusting each other, because we don't really have like a system or idea in mind. It's kind of just like, hey, if you want to swap, like go for it, because we have like a confidence that we can do better, you know, no matter what we're on. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that comes from, you know, all those games, you know, just building up, just undefeated, you know, just unparalleled confidence, I'd say, going into these matches.
yeah, absolutely. I like to be undefeated. I like to win, but like even more than that, I really like to work with or to play with players who are confident, and like this team is pretty confident, and you know, when it comes to like the season before, we have that to kind of like give us a confidence boost, but then also going forward to the matches we haven't played yet, like there's just not much concern or worry there. Like you said, you know, we've like gone up against everyone we have, given it our best, so really we're just looking out like to keep it up. So
And one more question for me. What's your kind of game plan going into the Bunker Brigade? Not, you know, fully leaking your strats or anything, but, you know.
All right, well, surprise, we're gonna play Bram probably. Okay, but we all know that. I don't personally like. I don't know what Bunker Brigade likes to play, so I'll have to check that out for myself. Cause I do like to always try to be mentally prepared. So I don't really know what they play, to be honest. But yeah, I guess it's kind of just the theme for us. Like we kind of just do our thing, and you know, maybe we'll look into what the Bunker Brigade's doing a little bit. But like at the end of the day, we kind of like, have confidence in our game plan.
I don't mean to give any leaks, but I think if you watch any of their games, you're gonna see a slight dive theme starting to creep
Okay.
in. I don't want to say too much, you know.
Leaks.
I got my friend on. I got my friends on that team, but
if they're playing dive, then like, well, okay. Typically, our approach is like we run Derek first map, and then based off the map, if we like the map or not, you know, I'll go play Doom. I think playing Doom on KR today was a mistake because of what I mentioned. Like, if I could redo it, I would just rather play Derek, and then like we don't have to worry about not having the weaker brawl. So if they're playing dive in our upcoming match, like we probably are only thinking about like, okay, maybe we need to make 1 or 2 swaps to our backline, like a Cass onto a Soj to survive the dive better, or like, you know, maybe I need to play a little bit safer. But yeah, I'll have to see what they're on. I guess it depends if they're on Monkey or Doom or whatever they're running with dive. Have to check it out.
hey, yeah, well, we can't give any leaks. All we can do is hope for the best for you. I'm gonna hit you with one more question. Obviously, you were a duo with Rectactus this season. Talk to me a little bit about your experience with him thus far.
So Derek was my manager first on Leviathan, which I'm not on that team anymore, but so I know Derek like from all the way like a year ago. So like what's really important to me about this league is that first of all, like obviously I like to win, and that's just like, I don't know, that's my way of having fun. But like the second thing that I like the most is like to play with people who I know or trust. I don't know exactly what the word is, but I really like to like continue to build chemistry with people. Like, okay, yeah, Derek like might not ever be in like a scrim with me, and like as a player, like he was my manager, but still it's like I can develop like a relationship, I guess, with people when I play with them. So Derek and I have been working a lot on our teamwork and coordination. Like at the start of the season, we were figuring out how can we time our ram slow, like with our Hanzo storm arrows and like stuff like that. Derek's always a pleasure to work with because like I can trust him not to tilt, and also on top of that, like he keeps a level head. There'll be sometimes where I feel like super stressed out or something, about what's going on in the match, but like Derek brings calm like energy. It's kind of funny now that I'm just thinking about it that I'm saying this, but like I think it's a really underestimated part of like a good duo, that if the two players can help each other like when it comes to the mental space. So I felt like in times where I need a good teammate, like Derek is that person, so that's why I wanted to duo with him. So we're working pretty hard to keep getting better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Neptune, unless you have anything else.
No, I think it's time for El Clasico.
Alrighty, Elko. If you were not this map or this match's MVP, who would be?
All right. I'm gonna think about it for a second.
Man, we ask this every time, and then they're like, "Oh, let me think about it for a second." It's almost like they don't expect this question to come up,
It's 'cause
which
my
is
fingers
crazy.
were crossed. Okay, they didn't
Which is
ask me.
wild. Like you see War, you see Neptune on the cask, you think we're not asking El Clasico? Crazy.
I gotta give it to Derek because Derek just has not lost. Like there's not much else you could say about it. Like Derek has not lost a map. Well, okay, wait. No, I don't know. Okay, it might have been like that first
The
loss
first
against
week
the
I've
Hardworks.
heard,
Yeah, that was one.
That's what I'm expecting. Like,
But like I
no
wasn't
way.
even there for that, so it's like Derek's basically been undefeated ever since then, and it's his first time on tank. So in my eyes, like Derek's just popping off at every match. So it's not like I can look at today and be like, oh, Derek did like this one really good play. It's kind of just like Derek's just been this consistent player that's been carrying every game. So I definitely got to give it to Derek.
Well, that's great to hear. And thank you again, Elko, for coming in for the interview.
course.
Congratulations on your match MVP and your win 3-1 over the Richfield Rats. Anything else you want to say? Shout out the socials. Shout out any people.
Yeah, okay, I'll say some stuff. Okay, shout out to my team because you guys are doing like amazing this season, and then shout out to Bunger Brigade. You guys better play really good. We want to win really bad, so I really hope it's a good match. Yeah, I'll see Bunger Brigade next weekend. Thanks to you two for having me.
All right, thank you very much. And this is gonna conclude the broadcast of Aurora Esports. It's been one of your hosts, casters, Neptune, and alongside War and Ninja Drew. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye guys. Bye.